Welcome to, I'm Davey,
And I'm Tracy.
and from DavyandTrace.com, welcome to episode 15 of Magic Monday. We've been doing this for 15 weeks. Magic
Yes.
Monday is the weekly live stream that Tracy and I do that helps you connect to nature for mental, emotional, and spiritual healing. We talk about topics related to green witchcraft, lunar astrology, tarot, and oracle cards. And basically, getting a start to your week that is positive and helps to
Helps to create a connection to nature. And yeah, we're going to give you guys a ritual to go through that you can do this week.
So announcements. We don't really have any announcements, but Tracy and I are working behind the scenes on a lot of really cool things. So we will have some pretty awesome announcements coming up in the coming weeks.
You ready to get started?
Yeah. Let me mute my computer here. So I've got my laptop over here. So feel free to comment, and I'll read it
Good morning,
off of
Sarah.
here. Good morning, Sarah. Happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
All right.
Sarah's birthday today. Um, yeah, let's get started. So we're gonna ring the singing bowl and take 3 deep breaths in through our nose and out through our mouth.
Our July candle, which is for freedom.
Yep. Sage. I'm gonna do some sage today without burning my fingers. Come on.
All right, so take some time. Any negativity that you've had this morning, and if you don't have any sage, just you can use our metaphorical smoke here. Or if you have something that you're using, a smudge stick or incense, go ahead and light
Essential
that.
oils.
Essential oils, just candle, just allow the smoke to just visually allow the smoke to just release any of that negativity.
I love the way white sage smells. So gratitude. Go ahead and post in the comments what you're grateful for. If you're watching this, if you're watching recording, post. We've had a couple people post what they're grateful for in the YouTube comments when they watch the recording. Trace and I do check these, and it's a good practice to just put out into the universe what you're grateful for. So that's what Tracy and I like to do right now. So what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for Magic Monday. Honestly, we're going to touch base a little bit, but I've definitely been feeling a little bit of a scattered energy. And so I'm grateful that we do this practice, and we do this practice every morning because it's definitely a balance. So grateful for that. I'm grateful. It's a beautiful day. I'm grateful we had time with family this weekend.
Yeah, I'm grateful that it's been a pretty good summer so far. You know, despite everything happening, it's been a nice summer. We haven't been as socially active as we are in past summers, and there hasn't
Yeah.
been as many activities that we usually go to. There's some activities that we definitely missed that have been canceled this year for obvious reasons. But despite that, it's been a pretty good summer, I think.
It has. I think a lot of it is we're focusing more on doing things together.
Yeah,
We
focusing on what
haven't been able
matters.
to do. We were doing a Saturday morning walk, which has been disrupted the
Yeah,
past couple weeks. But we've been trying to focus more on just doing things together, connecting as a family in a positive way because we're together all day every day.
well, it's definitely a big lesson, especially this year. It's just kind of enjoying what you have and being grateful for what you have.
Yeah.
So, and it's had the side benefit of, you know, like we are spending less, we're shopping less, we're spending less money doing things, which is not great for the economy, I guess, if everyone's doing this. But at the same time, it's kind of been a nice little reminder and lesson to appreciate what you have and to use what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sarah said, "Oh, and I am grateful for a nice day today. Even though it's going to be hot, it's probably going to be the hottest day of the year so far today.
Yeah.
But hey, grateful for a swimming pool and for air conditioning."
Yes.
Sarah says, "I'm grateful for 38 years, being healthier than I've ever been, being able to have open family chats, for a new grow light as one of my birthday presents, and finally having tomato blooms."
Nice.
And she said, I'm grateful for getting together with family this weekend, being able to go somewhere safe and fun yesterday. Nice. And
Morning, Jen.
yeah, hey Jen. I'm grateful for Sarah. Happy birthday. Grateful for Sarah too. Grateful for everyone watching this
Yes.
show. Um, yeah, cool. So once again, if you're watching the recording, go ahead, post what you're grateful for in the YouTube comments, and Tracy and I do go back and read them. Jen says, I'm grateful for a wonderful, relaxing weekend on the coast of Maine. Nice.
I know, I saw
We
the
need
pictures.
to-
It's funny because I have time hop. Jen, funny story. I have time hop. And I joke because sometimes I get tagged in things. I have a twin sister, and so I generally get tagged when she travels and stuff. But somehow I got tagged in one of Jen's things, and I didn't realize that it was actually like Facebook actually thinks it's my video. And so I'm seeing a couple years ago she was in Maine, and I got tagged. I Facebook travel all the time because of my twin sister who does a lot of things. And so this morning I was looking through Time Hop and I saw this beautiful picture of Maine. It was like a panoramic video and the ocean, and I was like, wow. I was like, where is this? And then I remembered it was Jen. A couple years ago, I got tagged instead of Jen in a video. So apparently this is a traditional thing weekend that you guys go to Maine. Random story.
Yeah, I miss the ocean. I'd like to get back to the ocean. Tracy and I usually at least once a year like to try to get to. Well, I mean, we used to go to Plum Island in Massachusetts.
Actually, when I saw that video, it reminded me this morning of our visits to the ocean, because Aiden really does like the ocean. And
I love the ocean. I could live by the ocean and just I love beach combing and looking at shells, and there's a lot of really interesting finds and things on the ocean that you can see. But
and when we were in Myrtle Beach, it was interesting to see how much we were actually last December, not last December, the year before that. We were actually we were able to spend the entire month in Myrtle Beach, and it was interesting to see the daily changes of the beach and how it changed. Like how sometimes it would have these random pools, and then like 2 days later, that pool would just be gone, and it was very interesting.
Yeah, and you see that on any body of water, because even living on the river like we do right now, I mean, the river changes significantly through the seasons, so, and even day to day.
I'm actually very grateful that log that fell down the river, we cut a tree down is dying, and we live on a hill, and one of the logs, we wanted to stack the trees by the river down the bottom of the hill so they wouldn't run at the top. And one of the logs rolled down and pretty much into the river. And we were like, well, at this point, it's staying there, but I'm grateful for that log because I stand on that log because we have milkweed along the river. And sometimes it's on the edge and sometimes it's in the water. And so I can't stand and check the milkweed. So I stand on the log.
Speaking of milkweed, I'm grateful we have monarch caterpillars finally. So we saw monarch butterflies in the yard starting last week, I think, and they've been laying eggs, so we have little caterpillars now. Some of them were raising inside in an enclosure to protect them from predators, and then I'm sure we have many more outside on the milkweed plants. So grateful for that. That's been a summer tradition for Tracy and I for a long time. Just, raising monarchs.
It's interesting how many people, because it's something we've done for a long time, and we actually we share that with a lot of people, and every year we always find somebody who's never seen this process, and so we share this a lot. I don't think I shared the swallowtails with you guys, but I don't think I shared the monarch so far this year.
And Sarah said, we saw one of those cool hummingbird moths today. Yeah, I love hummingbird moths. If you've never seen them, they're really cool. They look like a little tiny mini hummingbird, like if a hummingbird and a bumblebee had a baby, that's what they look like.
Yeah.
So they are a type of moth, but they kind of hover over flowers and drink nectar like a hummingbird. Let's get to lunar wisdom. So today, Monday, July 27th. It's the first quarter moon, and it will be in the sign of Scorpio by this afternoon. So it's the first quarter moon in Scorpio. First quarter moons are associated with balance. They're half dark, half light, but it's a waxing moon. So at this point, we're tipping the balance from dark to light as the moon becomes a gibbous moon and moving toward being full. So the first quarter moon is a time to reflect on balance, but more importantly, how to tip that balance toward light. So, a good metaphor or good correspondence to like a season would be that spring equinox, where you have, the 12-hour night, the 12-hour day, but it's getting lighter every day. So it's a good time today to sit down and think about where in your life do you need to tip the balance in favor of where you want to take your life. And Scorpio is associated with healing, rebirth, and fresh start. So it's a good sign in a good moon phase to really think about, okay, where do I need to take a fresh approach? Where do I need to kind of take a breath and restart and move, tip the balance toward a goal I want
and move in that direction.
right, and heal from it, because that light is increasing and becoming full, so it's healing, old wounds.
And this is something that actually I just talked about, that Davey and I talked about right before we sat down, is um, for me, is moving into a direction of continuing a positive um, focus in my life, because it's very easy. This is why we connect to this every single day, is because positive positive energy is something that isn't necessarily always flow. Because I was thinking about that, we all a lot of, not necessarily all negative, but just not positive energy. When I go to Facebook, it's a lot of non-positive things. We have a lot of change that's going on in this country, so I want to be aware of the change that's happening, and or lack thereof change. At the same time, I'm trying to balance making sure, because I feel like I don't have the abundant flow of positive energy to put my mindset in the right place, so that when I see things, I can come at it in a more positive light, and make a more positive reaction to it. And so this is one thing that I want to focus on this.
And ultimately, the first quarter moon, I mean, it's you have to put in the effort to
Right.
tip that balance. So
And this is that's what I want to work on. That's
right,
something we talked about. David and I talked about is sometimes these goals, when we go through the new moons and stuff like that, sometimes they're larger goals, and sometimes they're smaller goals to just remind us to move our life in a more positive direction. And this is for me a reminder, and that's something that I'm going to be working on this week, is just figuring out ways to connect on a more positive daily. We're going to create a schedule after this
right.
of how we both can work together, work on this business, work on the other things we have to do in life, and make sure we're starting every single day in a positive manner.
So tipping this balance could be, about a goal that you want in your life. It could be about, like Tracy said, just a little shift in where you focus your energy. It could be, if you are also doing what Tracy and I are doing. Last week we talked about the new moon in Cancer and how we are working on decluttering our home and organizing, and just, tipping the energy of our home toward a more positive, harmonious space. Now's a good time to kind of think about that. Okay, how has it been going over the last week, and what do I need to buckle down on? And, are there obstacles in place? Are there, distractions, or, motivation? Am I procrastinating? It's time to buckle down and reflect on how you can tip the balance to get where you want. Wednesday, we're in a full-on wax and gibbous moon in the sign of Sagittarius. Wax and gibbous moons are associated with refinement and endurance. So, this is where, like, things that aren't working, you identify what's not working, and you refine your approach, you make sure your expectations are realistic. And then, endurance, you're not quite at the fulfillment of it, but you got to keep going. Sagittarius is associated with adventure, taking a risk, getting out of your comfort zone. So definitely the last half of this week is a good time to get out of your comfort zone.
And that comfort zone, well, we can tie the two of them together. Are you doing something? Are you setting a goal that's out of your comfort zone? And you may have to get out of your comfort zone to achieve that goal. And so that's where just keeping those two in place, like what steps do you have to take to achieve your goals?
Yeah. By the weekend, we'll be also in a gibbous moon in the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is associated with structure and long-term goals. So right before the moon becomes full, and it'll be the full moon in Aquarius on Monday. We'll talk more about that next week. Like this weekend is a good time to kind of check in with the progress that you've made so far, and just reconnecting to your goal, and or where you want to, the changes you want to make in your life. And um, the wax and gibbous, it's, like I said, refinement, endurance. See where you need to refine. You might need to replenish your energy, and or remind yourself that you do have the strength to carry on. And so that's something that you're going to be focusing over the weekend. Another thing that's happening this weekend, Saturday, August 1st, is the festival of Lughnasadh, or Lammas, as some people call it. That's one of the 8 Sabbats on the Wheel of the Year. And Lughnasadh, excuse me, Lughnasadh is basically one of the first harvest festivals. And so that could be kind of a fun thing. It could also be kind of like, no, not yet. Hold on. I'm not ready for fall yet. It's definitely here in upstate New York and the Northeast. It's definitely full on summer. We're still in the summer, but
But
I don't know
there's
if
a
you.
lot to harvest for summer stuff,
Right.
because that's something that Dave and I were actually was just thinking about this weekend, is that we haven't done, amongst not doing a lot of things, is that we have this orchard that has a bunch of produce that we have gone to in the past, and we haven't gone there.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is we could go and celebrating, if you're like us and you live in, it's going to be 95 degrees out, you could still go and like harvest blueberries or strawberries.
That's a good Lughnasadh activity
Harvest,
to do. We
you
should
know.
actually do that this weekend. We should go like picking something. I mean, generally Lughnasadh is associated with a grain harvest, and you bake bread. I think every festival in the Wheel of the Year
Baking
is
bread.
baking bread. But um, like I was gonna say with Lughnasadh, you can take it to mean which you can make the holiday appropriate to you. So
Right.
here it's the middle of summer, and I mean, we've been harvesting vegetables from our garden, but if you haven't yet, yeah, go berry picking. Go. It's too early for apple picking, but I mean, I'm sure like what, peaches, cherries. There's a
Yes.
lot of.
Oh, I got some local New York cherries, and I wonder if the orchard that we go to one of the days.
Right.
I always have missed their cherry picking, because it's like they have like a 1 week period where you can pick, and so we should look into that.
Right, so Lunas is a good time to like do some kind of harvest. Go pick local produce, bake some bread. If you can't go picking, go to farmers market.
Right.
Um, in your area, gather some local ingredients, and then put together a nice meal.
You can
And
also, I'm looking at our altar here, like the flowers
right,
too. Just kind of pick. You can go harvest food, but then
yeah,
also
even if
harvest,
from
cut some
your
fresh
herb garden or
flowers.
fresh flowers. Yeah, I mean, black-eyed Susans, coneflowers, goldenrod, those are all in bloom right now. And speaking of goldenrod, the summer goldenrod is in bloom, and to me that's kind of the when I see the goldenrod start to bloom, that's when it's like, okay, summer has reached its peak, and now it is waning. Um, the other theme of Lunasa, yeah, is just gratitude. It is one of the harvest festivals, and so it's a time to just kind of enjoy life. Take some time this weekend to just enjoy life and appreciate what you have, and share what you're grateful for. Just take a little time out. So I think this weekend Tracy and I are going to try to do some
Harvest stuff on Saturday
berry
or
picking.
Sunday.
I think we should try to make some bread.
I know. I was thinking that we could do like strawberry.
And
Although there is some zucchini bread.
yeah, we
This
should make some
recipe.
zucchini bread. I mean, we probably will have some zucchini to pick by then, maybe.
Yeah, my mom has a really good recipe. There's also like strawberry bread or strawberry muffins.
Yeah.
Or, I love strawberries. If you can't tell, like I'm always like strawberries for our altar. Strawberry when I think of like this the spring, I think of summer. I think of strawberries.
So Jen says, one of my goals is to clean and organize the house. I just ordered some shelving for the kitchen. Last week we talked about a catch-all table, working toward getting rid of that table. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, Tracy and I we have a couple catch-all
Yes.
tables and a catch-all corner on the floor, which we're going to be tackling this week. So yeah, so that's lunar wisdom for the week, and take some time this weekend to celebrate Lunasa. Whether you're really into doing the Wheel of the Year, or you just take some
Take
time
time to
out to
reflect.
enjoy some summer produce, and enjoy life a little bit this weekend.
That's one thing that we're big on, is definitely rituals that help to move your life in a positive direction. So even like David said, even if you don't believe in, the wheel of the year, having that ritual of just
Not
celebrating.
believe in, but follow.
Right, follow, but just having that belief, that positive energy of just reflecting on the season, I find it's definitely a good positive activity.
Let's do an animal card.
Yes.
So, animal wisdom for the week.
And you shuffle
What do we
this
have?
way,
Yes.
I don't like this card for this
Wow.
reason. We've talked about this card.
We've had that card before. No, but it's a good one though, because I think it's a good one for coming into Lughnasadh.
No, I don't like it because the same thing you go along. It's got the chicken
Well, yeah,
in front.
you think it's a card about chickadees and
then
squirrel. So the animal is squirrel. Here, take it away.
Sorry. This is something I had to work on because the first
Squirrel.
thing I did is I started complaining
Squirrel
about it.
and then
Always
keyword.
prepared. You are the expert of hard work and hard play. Your cheerful and fun disposition is a blessing to everyone. Don't let life's distraction take you off course. Make a plan for the future, and life will give you all you need.
So that's a good
That is good.
Lughnasadh card, I think.
Definitely like making a plan. And this is something that we talk
Well,
about this moon, is like making a plan and
Starting to get prepared. I mean, Lughnasadh represents that kind of waning moon after the full moon of summer, that fullness of summer, and you're reaping the benefits, you're reaping the harvest, but you're also, not only are you enjoying life, but you're preparing for the winter too. You're just starting to do that. Let's see what the plant wisdom for this week is. And we have...
on all these decks, the links are in the description. I don't think we've had this one.
Self-heal, I think we've had self-heal before. I don't remember.
I don't remember seeing it.
So self-heal is actually in bloom right now. So it's, was it Prunella vulgaris, I think is the Latin name for self-heal. This is in bloom all over our yard right now. It's been in bloom for a couple weeks, and I like to pick it and dry it. You can make tea from it, but self-heal, it does pretty much what it sounds. It's a very much a multi-purpose medicinal herb, and the keyword is responsibility. So it says, true healing is a journey that engages the whole of your being in a spiraling process of deeper and deeper levels of understanding and self-awareness. Self-heal addresses the special connection between your soul and your body and encourages you to take responsibility for your own personal journey. Mm-hmm. This is a good card for today, where you're tipping that balance from dark to light. You're tipping your energy, you're tipping the balance to manifest what you want in your life, or to focus your energy. Ultimately, you're responsible for it. You can't wait for things to change on their own, or external forces to come in and rescue you. Ultimately, you have that responsibility to direct your attention or to work towards your goals. Mm-hmm. So this is a good card to reflect on today. I think it's a really good, also Scorpio, one of the attributes of Scorpio, which we're in the sign of today, is healing and, self-heal, which is, one of these healing multi-purpose medicinal herbs. So that's a really good card for today. And then let's do the tarot, and we have the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands kind of embodies this like childlike exuberance about life or a direction you want to go. It could show kind of like a self-knowledge and a eagerness to conquer your goals.
Is it page associated with like beginning, like new, like starting?
Yeah, it could be. Generally, the page is kind of like a more of a youthful, exuberant
but
energy.
it's always like the beginning.
Right.
When it comes to the different suits, it's the starting.
Oh, the ace, yeah. But the page is like, kind of like almost like that apprentice kind of.
Right, that's what I was thinking. It was
energy
like
sometimes.
Learning.
So that is the. So what this card might be, for this week is bring that kind of make sure that what you're following and the goals that you're creating are your goals, or something that you want to do. They kind of fill you with that kind of exuberance and excitement about reaching for those goals. Also, don't take on too much. Don't get so like, oh, well, I want to totally radically change my life and do
Right.
this, and this. You take on so much because, you might feel like you can conquer everything right now, and then because you have that confidence that might not be tempered by a realistic approach.
Mm.
And so, make sure that you have that balance so you don't burn yourself out. Because sometimes we get eager and excited to, change everything all at once, and then we get into it and we get burnt out.
Realize that, yeah,
So,
that's not realistic.
that could be also a warning of that card. Is like, just take steady progress and, don't get in over your head. All right, so a couple things you can do this week. We did talk about the Lughnasadh rituals of baking bread, going berry or fruit picking, and or visiting a farmer's market. All great
Harvest
things
some
to do.
flowers.
Yeah, harvest some flowers from your garden. If you haven't, if you've been doing it all summer, I mean, make a new recipe with the vegetables from your garden or the herbs from your garden.
Mm-hmm.
A couple things to connect to the balance of the full moon today. Definitely take some time to sit with your journal and think about where in your life do you need to tip that balance,
Make
and
changes.
what things can you do? How can you take responsibility for doing that?
Right, and you may have to step out of your comfort zone in order to do that and make, and you don't have to do it all at once. Make a plan, and this plan can be over the course of like a month, the entire month. Try not to take too much on. Have a goal from start A to start B.
Right.
But I think definitely that's a good thing to journal on. And like Davey said, that he will write. Well, he'll put these cards in the description, and then you can either journal on each individual one or as a group together,
Right.
which is something that we're going to be working on as well. We have a lot of great stuff, so there's a few things behind the scenes that we're working on that we're
Right.
excited to.
HM says hello, hello. If you're just tuning in now, you definitely can watch the recording.
Yeah.
I don't know if you just joined us, but welcome. Glad
Welcome.
you're here. Okay, well, we're pretty much wrapping up at this point. And if you go back and watch the recording, definitely comment, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We love hearing from you guys.
Yeah,
And
we love getting your feedback too. So
Right,
if you feel
exactly.
anything that changes, because this episode is definitely not the same as the episode 1. So we love making changes and adjusting, and we're trying to.
Right. I mean, we are doing this as much for us as we are for you. Tracy and I do this anyways, and we want to share this with you. And, it's a good start to our week. And so we're hoping that you guys get value from this too. But we'd love to hear your feedback as well because, we want this to be the best it can be. And we're excited that you guys, we really appreciate you. We really appreciate that you join us. So.
Yeah, we do, because this definitely wouldn't be. Uh, we're very grateful that you guys are on this journey with us, because
Right.
it definitely keeps us going. Knowing that we are, even if we're helping one person changing your day, changing your week, it definitely helps motivate us to keep going. So.
Right. All right, so we're going to wrap it up for this week. We are going to. Oh,
Or ending
well,
meditation.
yes, do that first.
All right, so I like to end this with a little bit of an ending meditation, just kind of refocus and give you guys something positive to end with.
Right, hold on. Jen says, thank you. I enjoy this. Or Sarah says, thank you. I enjoy this Monday ritual. Jen says, yes, I really like starting this week with you. Aw, thank you.
Thank you.
We like starting this week with you guys too.
Thank you. It does
All
mean
right.
a lot that you guys tune in. All right. For all of today, I will love. For all of today, I will trust. For all of today, I will be true to myself. For all of today, I will give thanks for my many blessings. For all of today, I will be kind to my neighbor and every living thing.
3 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. All right, thanks again for joining us. We'll be back here next Monday at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, and we can't wait to see you guys then. Have a great week.